Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you're working on a team right now, you already know the drill. Trying to keep absolutely everyone on the exact same page, honestly, it can feel like a full-time job all on its own. So, today, we're going to dive right into this ultimate software showdown and figure out how to, actually stop managing your tools and finally start letting those tools manage your workflow. Because let's be real, if you're dealing with massive tool fatigue, constantly trying to optimize your tech stack, you have absolutely asked yourself this exact question. You're probably sitting there staring at your screen, bouncing between 10 different apps, feeling that low-level anxiety of a missed notification just looming over you, right? And you're wondering, okay, which of these platforms is actually driving our work forward and which one is literally just adding noise?
Well, here's our roadmap for today to help answer that. We're going to start with the modern tool dilemma, then look at Slack as the collaboration layer, followed by Asana as the execution layer. After that, we'll do a head-to-head feature matchup, and finally, we'll talk about combining Slack and Asana.
All right, jumping right into part one, the modern tool dilemma, and shifting the paradigm. And here's the thing, we really need to stop looking at this as some sort of zero-sum game where one tool is fundamentally better than the other. Because honestly, that's a massive trap a lot of organizations fall into when they're staring down their software budgets.
Instead of pitting them against each other in a cage match, think of these platforms as representing two totally distinct layers of your daily work, the collaboration layer and the execution layer. The collaboration layer, that's your operating system for communication. It's the digital floor where the actual chatter happens. The execution layer, on the other hand, is the blueprint for structured task tracking. That is where the rigid plans are drawn up and tracked.
And this high-level distinction is basically the whole ballgame. It shapes your entire experience with these platforms, from how you navigate the interface to how you onboard a new hire. Slack organizes the work around conversations, while Asana structures the work around concrete tasks and projects. It completely changes how you interact with your computer every single day.
Okay, moving on to section 2, Slack, the collaboration layer, or as they like to call it, the work operating system. Think of Slack as your digital water cooler, your rapid-fire meeting room, and your office intercom all rolled into one.
Slack is absolutely brilliant when your team spans multiple time zones or when you just need to bring all your internal chatter, third-party apps, and even external partners into one unified space. You've got these threaded channels that keep conversations beautifully organized, whether you're chatting in real time or just catching up async hours later. Plus, you get this amazing visibility across totally different departments, and tools like Slack Connect let you pull outside clients right into your shared channels. It's incredibly fluid.
But hey, it's not just a fancy chat room. With Slack's Workflow Builder, you can literally chain administrative steps together without knowing a single line of code. Just imagine this. A new support ticket comes in, boom. Slack instantly triggers a notification in the right channel, automatically assigns an owner to the issue, and updates your tracking spreadsheet in the background. It just completely evaporates all that administrative busywork. Now, what is actually super interesting here is Slack's AI. Because of this, your chat history isn't just some dead archive you ignore. It becomes this living, totally searchable knowledge base for your organization. Cross-functional teams can use Slackbot to quickly summarize a massive channel thread they missed, or just answer questions instantly based on past decisions. It can literally catch you up on everything that happened while you were offline.
All right, let's shift gears to section 3, Asana, the execution layer, essentially your blueprint for delivery. If Slack is the water cooler, Asana acts as your team's clipboard, calendar, and rigid filing cabinet.
So where does Asana shine? Well, it really steps up when your team requires crystal clear responsibilities, firm due dates, and strict, undeniable visibility into a project's progress. It's purpose-built for full lifecycle task tracking. And the cool part is, whether your brain prefers looking at simple lists, Kanban boards, Gantt-style timelines, or just standard calendars, Asana totally adapts to your planning style. Plus, it has this great rules-based automation to push work forward, like instantly reassigning a task to the next person the second its status flips to done.
Let's put this into perspective. Think about a huge marketing product launch. Asana uses dependencies to ensure the design team finishes all their assets before the copywriting phase can even unlock. If the design takes, say, an extra 2 days, the timeline visually shifts, and absolutely everyone down the line instantly knows their new deadlines. It creates this rigid, predictable structure that completely prevents invisible bottlenecks from blowing up your launch.
Okay, section 4, head-to-head feature matchup, comparing the capabilities. Let's put the collaboration layer and the execution layer side by side and actually look at the hard data.
So, looking at the numbers, both platforms have free tiers to get you started, and both max out around that $20 to $25 per user per month mark for their standard paid plans. They also both take security very seriously, offering enterprise-grade stuff like SOC 2 compliance and enterprise key management. But while the sticker prices look super similar, you really have to look at what each tier actually bundles. Slack gives you unlimited app integrations across every single paid plan. Asana, on the flip side, restricts some of its most powerful capabilities, like those advanced timeline views and portfolio goals, to its higher, more expensive tiers.
2,600. Yeah, that's a massive number. That is the staggering amount of third-party apps Slack currently integrates with, which just massively overshadows Asana's roughly 200 tailored integrations. And there's a reason for this, because Slack wants to be your absolute central hub. It wants your CRM, your design files, and your data dashboards all piping real-time updates straight into your chat channels. Asana's integrations are fantastic, but they're just much more narrowly focused on the execution side. Think file storage, syncing calendars, and connecting out to messaging tools.
And then there's the search function. When you need to find something, Slack relies on that broad, AI-powered conversational context, whereas Asana specializes in laser-focused precision. If you need to figure out why a certain strategic decision was made 3 months ago, Slack's search across all your messages and connected apps is completely unmatched. But if you need to know exactly who is responsible for an overdue asset that needs to ship by 5 p.m. today, Asana's fast, precise filtering is going to give you that exact answer instantly.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, combining Slack and Asana, and building the ultimate stack. Let's bring this all together.
Here is the huge takeaway. Slack handles the conversations about the work, and Asana handles the actual structure of the work. As the source material points out, you really, truly don't have to choose just one. In fact, teams that pair the two together tend to get the absolute best of both worlds without the usual trade-offs.
When you hook them up using their native integration, it's kind of magic. You can instantly turn a passing Slack message into a firm Asana task, routing all those project updates straight back into your real-time channels. Imagine you're just chatting away in a quick Slack huddle, you realize a major action item needs to happen, and boom, with just a few clicks, it's an officially assigned task in Asana with a firm due date. The handoff from casual discussion to actual tracked action becomes completely frictionless.
Together, they pretty much cover the whole shebang of how modern work actually moves forward. You get the incredible flexibility, the massive integrations, and the fast-paced communication of the collaboration layer, fully backed by the structured planning, the visual dependencies, and the strict accountability of the execution layer. It creates a completely seamless environment.
So, knowing exactly what these two powerhouses can do, you gotta ask yourself a tough question. Is your team dropping the ball because you aren't talking to each other? Or because you aren't tracking each other? Your answer to that reveals exactly what your current tech stack is missing. So, what are you going to build tomorrow?